What is going on, everyone? My name's Boit, and I'm back with some more Age of Mythology. The Titans action spawning in the bottom of the map in the blue color, playing as Oranos. His name is M4rcos. His opponent today in the red color, playing as Hades. His name is Jorge El Curioso, also known as Mariano. But from now on, I am going to affectionately call him Jorge. It's his choice. He's calling himself Jorge, so I'm calling him Jorge as well. We respect name changes in Age of Mythology. All right, map, watering hole. Round of 16. The round of 16 has started. Ladies and gentlemen, very exciting time to be alive. The winner of this series gets to participate in Champions League Season 3. The loser of this series will be one of the most likely one of the favorites to win Challengers League, of which there are several incredibly strong players participating. So it's not like the Challengers League is low level by any stretch of the imagination. The Challengers League this season round is going to be basically the top 40-ish. No, that doesn't seem right. The top 50 players up to like 16. So 50 to 60 will be participating basically in, that doesn't seem right either, but whatever. Maybe it is 40. 40 to 16 players-ish participating in the Challengers League, and they're all it's really, really strong. Honestly, I'm excited to see how it's all going to be turning out over the next couple of months. The Champions League, however, I'm scared. I'm looking at the players in that, and the fact that we haven't even seen the invited players playing yet, and the level that the rest of these guys are playing at, I'm fairly sure we're going to be seeing some new faces in the top 4 finishing in this tournament. Just from the level that everyone's displaying, I'm excited to see how it's going to go. But time to talk a little bit about the matchup. We've got Jorge here. He's actually a Greek Atlantean, dabbles in Norse, dabbles in Egyptian play. He plays all of the gods really well, so I'm not surprised to see him picking Hades here in this matchup. M4rcos, on the other hand, he is an Oranos main. He plays Oranos quite a bit. Very, very strong with his Oranos. He's not going to be wanting to move away from that god here, as he is trying to make everything work. So he's playing his main. He's going to be playing his main throughout this entire series, most likely. I doubt we're going to see a pocket pick or anything here from M4rcos. That being said, Hades versus Oranos, actually a decent matchup for Oranos. People say, everyone is saying right now that Hades is kind of sitting at the top of the food chain here in Age of Mythology. And while that may be true, that overall Hades has got kind of the best matchups against every single civilization, it's not like Hades has got an overwhelming advantage against the top civilization. It's more like a skill matchup at the very best. So this is Hades versus Odin, Hades versus Oranos. It's more like a skill matchup than anything else. So we'll see how this game's going to go. We'll see if M4rcos is going to be able to make this work, and we'll see exactly what Jorge is going to be going for here in this game. Now, one thing to note here is that Jorge has got an exceptionally good backtown center. This is really, really big for a Hades player in this matchup. It doesn't mean that it's an automatic win here for Hades. It does mean that the Oranos player is going to have to do something special here, something different to squeeze out a win. Because there's a back gold line here, there's back hunt here, a very easily walled off location here, followed with the Sentinels is going to be really, really nice. We already see the villagers moving up to the top side of the map. Over here, the Oracles aren't in position to try and deny that town center. We do see Military Academy and Military Barracks being thrown down on the front of the map rather than the back of his base. I like that. That's going to allow him to definitely prevent the middle town center from being grabbed, which is 100% something that Oranos players should be doing as the villagers move over to the town center here. Looks like Jorge just a little bit short on the gold here at the moment, which may be a problem for him moving forward as he's now going to start putting the town center up. 5 villagers on that one. He's got himself out the Chiron. He's got himself out the Minotaur. And is there going to be an Ajax out as well? I don't... Oh, there's the Ajax. Has picked up the relic. Pygmalion statue. Oh, that is a huge relic to be finding here for Jorge. It basically means that Jorge's villagers, they're going to be having a really, really nice time here in this game. As we do see the units... oh, man. Not only is there Zebra over here, there's also a pack of Gazelle. But luckily for M4rcos, there is an opening in this forest, on this water here. So he can get around here and hit both the Zebra and the Gazelle. There will need to be some sort of a wall here to make it all work. As we see the valid heroes of M4rcos moving in. Ajax retreating back. We see the Sentinels getting dropped down. Town center is now up here. We haven't seen yet the wall down for Jorge. He definitely needs to be chucking this one down very, very shortly here as the unit's starting to push forward. Nice attack down onto that Minotaur, getting some good damage down here as it looks like M4rcos. Is he still pumping units out? No, he is not. He's going to start thinking about getting himself up a second town center. I've said this once and I'll say it again. I really want to see Atlantean players make the effort into taking the forward town center against Hades players. I really think it's valuable here as we see some units starting to move forward here for M4rcos. Looks like he's grabbing his back town center first, which does make it really, really tough for him to be able to get himself the forward town center in the future here. As we do see the Minotaur does get sniped down. One Murmillo has been picked off here as M4rcos is going to be able to take out the Ajax. There does trade some units there, but now the Term are going to be looking to try and push through here. The walls are up though for Jorge. He gets them both up and the Terma will have to retreat away from here. Chiron's going to get a little bit more damage done onto those units there as the Murmillo does fall. It's a little bit of damage onto the Chiron, and Jorge has to retreat back for the time being here. Will we see an immediate third town center back here, or even potentially grab that third town center on the front? We'll have to wait and see how that's going to go, because now we have some hoplites and some Toxotes already out for Jorge. Look at the resources here from Jorge in this game. He is perfectly producing villages. His units are coming out. The economy is really, really low. Big shockwave there as some Toxotes are going to get taken out there. Nice play. Bit of a over usage there of the shockwave as another Toxote does get sniped down as Jorge has to retreat back a little bit here. Good usage there of the Terma. Getting some snipes while everything's going on. Still only 2 town centers here for M4rcos. I don't know if I like this play. I don't think a 2 town center play is going to work out the best here for M4rcos. Potentially, he's just trying to get himself some more military to steal that middle town center, or make sure he can hold that middle town center. But yeah, I'm not particularly in love with the play here. I want to see a third town center down for M4rcos like a minute ago. But we'll see how things are going to go here as Jorge retreats back. His army does get caught out of position here. This is big for M4rcos. Every single little bit of damage he gets to do onto Jorge here is a big advantage moving forward, because it's going to just allow M4rcos to hit a more clean, a faster, not necessarily faster, but comparatively faster Mythic Age or Heroic Age here. So we do see some... Look at that micro there. 1 Hero Terma. Is that 1 Hero Terma 2 hits a Toxote? Is that right? I did not know that. Learning things here. You can definitely use that for your... use that very, very nice. How much damage does it? 4.8 compared to 4.4. It doesn't have a necessarily bigger bonus versus archers. It's just plus 300%. There you go. The more you know. I think it might have been a little bit damaged already. I feel like it's 3 arrows to kill off a Toxote, but I could be wrong. 60 HP. Who knows? There's a unit's now coming up into this position. You You do have to be a little bit careful here. I feel like, do we see it stable here? I feel like if you see all these hoplites from the position of, as we do see that second town center coming down, third town center coming down, if you see a whole bunch of hoplites, part of me feels like you should stop building Terma. Because if you had, say, instead of like, oh, how much do they cost? It's like an extra 50 wood. It is, right? Extra 50 wood, 50 gold. Basically an extra 50 wood, 50 gold. Just cut these Terma in half right now and then replace them with Kyra. You can hold this position incredibly easily and Jorge is not going to be able to move out and get this elephant. And that's if you see Hoplite Toxodie. I feel like the Toxodie almost bait the Terma to be built when you don't even need them. Maybe. So we do see M4rcos having to retreat back here as Jorge's army is getting very, very scary as he's going to start moving forward. We do see some more units coming in. The Kyra are now starting to be produced, but they have to be careful about where they're placed here at this moment as M4rcos is going to be retreating back. He still needs to be careful about this. Also have to remember every single time he fights the Hades, you have to get good trades because Hades is going to be getting those Hades shades to help out in this game. So the Kyra are going to be retreating back. M4rcos trying to figure out what's happening here as well. He's got his third town center up. He's got his villagers pumping out here. He's getting his Kyra out. M4rcos here. The thing that M4rcos is probably a little bit annoyed about is that he's letting Jorge get forward elephant in this game, which is a big, big deal because right now, Jorge, most Hades players in these situations would probably have to be getting themselves farms here. And while we do see a handful of farms up for Jorge already, it's really not that many. And we're going to see some raids coming through here as well. But the Kyra are in to snipe down those hoplites really, really fast. So he has to retreat back for the time being. We'll see if he's going to grab this town center anytime soon as M4rcos coming back in onto the top side of the map here. Lots of wood in the bank right now for M4rcos as the units do great M4rcos' army, and M4rcos has to retreat back for the time being here as these units getting chased down. We see a Promethean out. M4rcos is at full population here. I think that one thing that M4rcos could try, is slowly start planting more and more buildings down here to give his Kyra a kind of defensive position. He doesn't necessarily need to have all of his villagers gathering resources at this point. He could definitely take some of those wood villages off, place forward buildings down, and then start pushing forward. But as this is going on, Jorge is going to be getting himself his third town center here. Now, one thing also to realize here in this game is it seems that this town center here is in range of water. So M4rcos can take that as an advantage here. Place a dock down here at some point in the future to get himself out. Some siege ships to sit over here and range down this town center without having to use himself fire siphon or anything that's easily taken out. And now Jorge going to be starting to move forward. Lots of resources in the bank here for M4rcos. These Kyra sitting in this position here are going to be really, really difficult to push into. Nice play from M4rcos. Big shockwave coming through here as it looks like M4rcos wants to try and engage here ever so slightly, trying to utilize those Terma to get some good damage done, as now the hoplites are going to be coming through here. So long as M4rcos sits in this gap here and ranges back, he should be able to win these fights fairly easily here, but he's going to be he allows hoplites through here a little bit, which maybe not as good of an idea, as best of an idea as he has, as the army pushing through. Restoration getting used by Jorge to give himself a little bit of an advantage here. M4rcos here is dropping down to 105, 145 population. Plenty of resources in the bank here for M4rcos. He's trying to build some units here. We will be seeing the Stymphalienberg getting sniped down by the Chiron here as well, as it seems to me that M4rcos is kind of a little bit too focused on getting to the Mythic age here, and Jorge's timing that he's hitting is doing a lot of damage here as well. As the Dryads coming through, Jorge will be retreating after all is said and done, but he gets a lot of damage done here onto this position, and he's going to be giving himself more and more time on this map to pick up things like these elephant in the corner over here. He could go over here and eat those elephant as well, getting a lot of extra hunt as the Chiron looks like it does get sniped down. Marco's still sitting at 100 population compared to Jorge's 135 population. He's all over Jorge at this point, but still plenty of resources in the bank here. He's just not building units out of these military buildings here at all, so he's not able to spend his units or his resources as much as he can, but he will be able to advance now to the Mythic Age. He's going up through Hecate really, really early here compared to Jorge. Jorge is not close to the heroic age here at this point. And when this happens now, we're going to start seeing Contarius coming out, Arcus coming out. Technically, I would rather not see the Contarius here at this point. They don't really help that much. I'd rather see a palace get thrown down as soon as you possibly can and get some destroyers out. But the army's still trying to take these fights down population. This is a good fight for Jorge. He's going to continue to take good fights through here. But the Stymphalienberg going to be getting some good damage done from afar here, from up on from the air, as the Chiron going to be coming through to start getting some damage done, though. Got to be a little bit careful about this one. You don't want to be losing these Stymphalienbergs. Good micro there from M4rcos to pull back the Stymphalienberg as the Chiron runs to chase this one down. You just have to keep pulling this one back as Chiron's going to get taken down relatively quickly there, as the Ajax does get taken down as well. So now Apollo is coming through, but it looks like Hecate will be hitting first here. M4rcos needs to make some effort into getting into the main base of Jorge to place the Tartarian gate down immediately here. But it seems that he is too far on the back foot. He can't get his units out at this point. There's still just more units just piling through here, even under town center fire. As this is all going on, the Stymphalienbergs are helping out a lot, but Chiron is getting the damage done. It's now Jorge going to be retreating back yet again. Jorge's resources are starting to hit that penultimate level here, as he's going to be able to go straight to the Mythic Age behind this, as well as we do see a Stymphalienberg flying in to M4rcos' base. He doesn't quite get in onto the temple fast enough to cast the Tartarian Gate and deny a Manticore here. As the Tartarian Gate goes down, there's really actually not that much damage that it's going to be able to do where that's concerned. Meanwhile, Toxotes raiding the citizen over here of M4rcos. The town center going to be able to get a little bit of damage done back onto that one there, as M4rcos is finally hit back up to 145 population. Jorge's getting himself heavy infantry straight away as he pulls back onto his town center. Archery range going up. We do see a marker coming up on this position, but the Stymphalienberg getting some good damage done. Is Chiron going to come over there and clean that one up? Meanwhile, one Achilles and one Manticore going to be attempting to take this one down, as some buildings are going to be getting cleaned up here. We don't see Masons through here for M4rcos just yet. Still no palace down. Having a palace down is vitally important while the Tartarian Gate is down, because it allows you to get out siege to take out buildings while the army is distracted. Meanwhile, we do see some cheeky raids over here, but looks like they are getting dealt with here, as the Toxotes will go down, or at the very least, the Terma are going to be able to chase that down and clean that one up there. There is a potential for an underworld here as well, as Artemis is now clicked up for Jorge, as the unit's pushing through here. Jorge trying to hold on this position. Huge shockwave, final shockwave coming through here, as the units get completely caught out of position there as well. We'll see how things are going to go here, as M4rcos is trying to push through here on this position. We see more buildings coming down, and now Jorge is on the back foot, sitting at 120 population, not able to get up to population here at all, as there's just too much pressure. We'll see if this Artemis is going to be enough here for Jorge to stay alive in this game, as the power struggle has seemingly shifted into M4rcos' favor here as this game continues. We've got the M4rcos palace up, but no siege weapons out. I think that's a bit of a mistake. M4rcos has got plenty of gold in the bank as well. It looks like he's not building himself those vitally important dryads to help out in this location here, as now Jorge is continuing to build units. He's still sitting very low on the population. There is definitely going to be an earthquake coming down onto this position. There's plenty of military buildings here. If M4rcos plants another Hesperid's tree over here, he might actually be able to keep that town center alive versus the earthquake as well, as the Tartarian Gate has been dealt with. A temple is going to be attempted to shoot up to get him to get his free Chimera out. It's going to be very, very close, actually. It looks like he will be able to get it up just barely in time there, and he gets a whole bunch of Hades Shades out of it as well, as the army going to be retreating back. Earthquake gets dropped down onto this position, taking everything down. Will it be able to kill off the palace as well? It looks like the palace will be falling, and the town center falls. Looks like the palace survives with 53 HP. Marcos has got to be kicking himself for not getting Masons there. That would have easily kept him alive. Fortified Town Centers is just a little bit earlier there as well. Would have been perfect for him. And now Jorge is going to be able to change the... be able to take this position that he's now managed to create from this earthquake and apply so much pressure onto Marcos. Marcos trying to get his town center back up with just the 2 citizens. Will that be enough or not is the big question as the Chimera comes in. So much damage coming in onto those Arcus there, as we also see a underworld passage coming through here as well to push off of that gold mine on the back. He's going to have the pressure on the front here. He's going to have the pressure on the back here. There is a gold mine over here that Marcos can move towards. But at this point, Marcos having no gold in the bank is a really, really big deal. And Jorge pushing through, putting the pressure onto the town center here, trying to take out these units as best as he possibly can. We see a fortress coming up for Jorge as well, which will mean Heliopolis will be coming through as well. The Chimera looks like it will be getting sniped down. Town Center still coming back up. We have seen some citizen making their way over onto this gold mine. There's a gold mine here that could potentially sneak as well, as the Chimera is still living with 34 HP, trying to keep that one alive ever so slightly. But it does seem like it will be getting taken down. That's 4 citizen on this town center trying to get that one up as fast as he possibly can here. It seems like... yeah, he just needs to get some more citizen over onto that top location. Still 26 villages here, or citizen I should say, for Marcos, trying to get this town center up. The Toxotes pushing through, going to take these units down. 100 population of 140 here for Marcos. He can't get the units out. He does not have the production facilities anymore. Well, I tell a lie. He's actually got a decent amount of production here, but they're just all getting picked off so fast by the Hades army. These Toxotes are so brutally strong in a big number, the big number that they have here. And Marcos, he's not going to be getting the town center back. Jorge here gets himself the Heliopolis out as well, or as soon as he gets population, he's going to have that out, and he's going to be able to start breaking down these buildings incredibly fast, taking this town center for himself, getting a 160 to 140 population, or even a 180 to 140 population in the future advantage in this game. We do see that Marcos is slowly getting an army back out here. He needs to get his Chiron back out. Is it queued up? Yes, it is. It's making its way forward here to deal with those Stymphalian birds. But the Toxotes still able to take down units so incredibly fast here as the Chiron moves forward. Still no fortified town centers here for Jorge. A bit of a surprise. We see a marker coming up in the corner, going to start making himself the trade here to give himself a solid advantage in this game as the Chiron sneaks around on the back here. Going to be trying to take out the Stymphalian bird. Good micro yet again from Marcos, trying to pull that low HP Stymphalian bird back, but looks like Jorge has actually targeted down a different Stymphalian bird as the Chiron does start getting targeted down. Looks like Jorge wasn't giving as much attention onto that Chiron as he probably should have been. Trying to keep that one alive there as the army still pushing forward here. As we see, fortified town centers has been clicked up for Jorge. The big problem now for Marcos is going to be, how does he really deal with the Heliopolis that are going to be coming through, the Heliopoli that are going to be coming through here. So absurdly strong in these situations as the Stymphalian bird flies over here, trying to take out the Chimera, but the Toxotes, they're too strong. They take down a Stymphalian bird relatively fast here as well. And here's the next stage of this fight that's going to be tough to deal with here for Marcos, is when Jorge feels comfortable to start putting Heliopolis in this position in front of his army. He's going to be able to tank so much. And look at this. There he goes. Moves the Heliopolis in front of the Arcus. The Arcus start automatically targeting the Heliopolis. And that means that the DPS of 7.8 a second moves down to a DPS of 1 a second for all of those units. So there's just so much more survivability for the Hades army here. And it becomes really, really tough for Marcos to fight back here. Meanwhile, do we see any attempt at a dock over here? No, we do have a dock for Jorge, though, with the attempt to maybe even get some archer ships in to target down this gold mine would be a really smart move there from Jorge. If he's aware that there's a gold mine there or not, I'm not sure. As the Stymphalian bird does get sniped down. Chimera getting taken down by these Arcus over here as the military barracks gets taken down. We do see a hero citizen trying to be the hero that she is. Comes in to start shanking down the Heliopolis here. It's got a little bit of HP remaining, but no effort to actually take that one down. So we finally see it targeted down as the Heliopolis move back through. Still going to keep trying to take down military buildings here as Jorge slowly but surely overwhelming the Marcos Atlantean army. Not only is the Atlantean army slightly weaker than the Greek army, but there's just so much more population for Jorge in this game. It's now the mana going to be taken out over here. Heliopolis number 1, cleaning up the military barracks. Heliopolis number 2, coming in to take out the mana here. And yet again, Marcos is falling victim to a very, very difficult to overcome strategy, which is you have to micro your Arcus onto the Hippaspis or onto the Toxotes, and you just have to continue doing it. You have to be on top of that, otherwise your DPS goes down to basically 0. So now we're moving around. We do see a citizen getting taken down on that position. When will Jorge feel comfortable to start taking this town center for himself is the big question. He's getting himself Sunray, Shafts of Plague, heavy archers all at the same time. And these Toxotes are about to just shoot up in damage through the ceiling here. And we're not going to be able to see it because in that moment, Marcos decides to tap out. That's actually hilarious. Jorge almost has the like crazy strong archer tech choice here. He went for Apollo, Artemis, and Athena. If you went for Ares here, you can get the bow of what is it? N something or other. I don't think I'm going to be able to see it here. Enyo's Bow of Horror. I was close. Enyo's Bow of Horror. If you get all 3 of those, you get yourself an extra 30%. I think it's 30% total damage on your 10%, and then 10%, and then 15%. So 35% extra bonus damage plus the 10% for being Hades. So 45% bonus damage on your Toxotes if you get all those upgrades. We're about to see 2 of those, which is a big, big deal. Anyways, if you guys enjoyed this game, please consider hitting the follow on the Twitch. If you're on the YouTube, hit that subscribe button. And I'll see you guys in the next game.